You're in for another great episode of the podcast, but first, do me a favor and click that subscribe button below, and let's dive in.
Yeah, mindset can be tricky though for me because I'm the kind of coach who wants to help you get shit done. And so I'm all about strategy and like do it this way. And I just come to the table assuming we're all therapists. So we've already done the work. Like we have the right mindset. So now let me give you the tools. And obviously I've learned it's not always that simple. So, but talking about mindset is a little bit tricky because it's like, just manifest that shit.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah,
just
just
do
have a
it.
vision
Just like
board.
think positive and, unleash your inner badass. And then it all just comes to fruition. But no, there's perfectionism and overwhelm and bitchy Brenda and imposter syndrome, which is also bitchy Brenda.
So
and she follows us around.
Here's one thing I've realized is that in my mind is almost always in the marketing realm, or thinking like, trying to help therapists get more clients and solve that problem. And
fill the empty spots on your calendar.
That's right.
I know
so
it.
You know you have good branding when your friends know your tagline. But then there's this piece of, even if I get 10 people on the phone with you this week, can you sell them? And do you believe in what you're offering? And do you believe it's worth X amount of dollars? And that is a question that I wish I had started to address in like a more holistic approach to helping therapists with their marketing. You know what I mean? And so that part has been huge for me lately, and really helping therapists. I hate that I'm going to use this word, unpack that. Like a Christmas
You're
present.
such a fucking therapist right now. Let's unpack that.
I also like talk shit on
pull back the
cliches
curtain.
constantly, and especially on this show, I like try really hard not to use them, and then I just use a big one. We're going to unpack that into this space.
Yeah. We're going to lift the veil on this.
Yeah.
That's my like favorite one that I hate.
Yeah.
We're going to lift the veil. We're going to demystify this whole thing for you. Let's unpack it. Let's unravel it. Let's unpeel it like an onion. Let's go.
What's it like for you to be in this space of unpacking? And so, I mean, there's just something behind that, right, for therapists. And recently on the show, we had some doing like listener questions, and one of the questions was like, actually, I want to get your take on this. I was talking to another therapist in my community about my fee, and then now I feel really self-conscious about my fee. What should I do? Or the question was, should I base my fee on how many years I've been a therapist? And I had never really thought of it that way. I think that's a too simplistic way of thinking about it, and being like, oh, you can only charge X if you've been in the field for 7 years, or if you've are an EMDR specialist or not, or did the whole certification. That, to me, that just seems so silly and like oppressive of one another in our industry. So I've been talking a lot about that on the show, but I want to get your take on that. And like, another therapist is going, well, how you can't charge more? I've been in the industry longer than you, and I'm only charging X.
So this is actually a pretty fun segue, because I have a new YouTube channel coming out, John, and my very first video is on this topic.
Welcome.
Boom. It's like, this is some like woo-woo universe shit. So yeah, I agree with you. It's a very simplistic way of thinking about fee setting. I think that years of experience, asterisk, can I put an asterisk here? Years of experience can help influence what your fee is. But that is not at all the only factor. And I need to find the study, but
just make it up. Just make it up.
I'll just make up numbers. No, years of experience in the psychotherapy field do not equate to better or more effective.
Correct. No,
work.
That's real.
So,
yeah, that's real.
However, as far as many of our clients are concerned, that is important to them sometimes.
In terms of perception, sure.
Yes, perception.
And we also know a lot of therapeutic outcome has to do with the relationship, regardless of therapeutic orientation, and the client's belief that this is going to help me.
Yeah. And that's so weird.
Well, so how do we set the stage for clients to believe we're going to help them? We communicate value in a number of ways, in part through our messaging. How do we describe what we do and the results that we help clients achieve? And also through our fees.
Yes. Yeah, because value and fees are intertwined and work on each other. So the more I value something, obviously the more I'm willing to spend on the thing. And when I spend more on something, right, I'm also more likely to value it.
Value it more.
Case in point. I did a video on this recently, but I have been wanting to get my ass back in shape. And I was looking at all these different gyms and how much everything costs and what's included, yada, yada. And so the place I ended up going with actually costs a whole lot more than I was willing to spend. And what I've learned is that by dishing out all of this extra money every month, I'm actually going.
Yeah, you value it more.
Yeah. So it's not that I was like, oh, I'm super pumped to spend this much money on a gym. It's, gosh, I really don't want to spend this much money. However, I believe that if I spend this much money, I'm actually going to get results. And because of my belief around that, now I'm going, which means what? I'm going to see results.
Correct.
It's
the same.
So, okay. So the whole fee value conversation, let's unpack that.
So I do think, I mean, when we think about mindset, fees, it becomes part of the conversation pretty quickly. But I also think there is something to be said about therapists that, believe in the product that they're selling, believe in their therapy. And also, do you believe you're going to be successful in this business or not? Because we can, you know what I mean? You can have all the help in the world and you can do all the courses and work with all the consultants, you know what I mean? And do all the clinical trainings. You can be overly prepared clinically and still have a failing practice. And I am always wondering, like, why is that? Why can some people just not get out of their own way?
I'm trying so hard not to quote Seth Godin here.
Just do it. Most people don't even know who he is. Most people listening don't know who he is. So
just the walking billboard for all things Seth Godin. And he has this brand new book out called This Is Marketing. And it talks all about this. So, okay, your question, why do therapists who have all these trainings and certifications and all that, why do their practices still fail? Well, first and foremost, you can have all these trainings and still not know how to do your job. I mean, just sitting in a room for 4 days doing a training or even recording yourself doing therapy and getting supervision doesn't necessarily make you a good therapist.
Right.
Do you believe that there are certain people who are just like natural at this and certain people who are on the other end, like they do all the training and still don't know how to connect with people? Yeah.